Okay, good morning. Ted here, BigGoofyRunner. It is December 11th, 2021. Just another one of my updates on my weight loss, exercising, all that fun stuff. Just a little bit of a different looking video today. I'm just kind of doing a experiment at the same time as recording this video. Just give me some options on recording this and just to see what it is. I would like to get into a bit more live streaming and things like that, and try some different angles and things like that. So it's most of the videos that I've been doing just recorded on my phone, maybe with a shotgun mic attached, or just even with the phone stuff, or with a microphone on the computer and linking it in the editing software afterwards. But this one, I'm just trying to record right from stuff on the computer, and the idea might be is that maybe I would live stream these kind of every Sunday morning for 15 minutes to an hour kind of deal, depending on how much I want to talk. But yeah, just a little bit quick overview of what we got here. The one I am talking into, the camera I'm talking into, is Canon T4i with a 24 millimeter fixed focal length lens. It's got autofocus on, so if my eyes move or something like that, it may lose focus on me. But yeah, so that's kind of the downfall of that. Plus, it's not really. None of these are super high quality cameras, and if my wife is watching, I bought nothing new to set this all up. This is all stuff we had around the house for either working from home or for the kids' schoolwork and all that kind of stuff. So it's just all a variety of stuff that we've had for a while. I did not buy anything new. So the Canon T4i is definitely getting up there, long in the tooth. 1080p, 30 frames per second is its best video output, and it is pushing through a very cheap, like $20 inexpensive video capture device. Looking not bad. It does do okay. There is some weird cropping on it and stuff like that. It's Canon also, yeah, it's got some issues, especially with the hard timeout at 30 minutes. It shuts off. You gotta turn it back on. I've got some software running that strips and gives me a clean HDMI out of it because it doesn't do that out of its standard software package that's built into it. Things like that. So I had to do a bunch of tweaking to get that to work. It's funny, Canon's got a webcam utility now that gives a variety of their cameras, allow them to just use the USB out. The camera a generation older than this one and the camera a generation newer than this one all can use that webcam software. This one cannot. There are issues with it, so that's unfortunate. So I'm using cheap capture card and it's looking okay. So that's in the upper left-hand side of the screen. This one on the upper right, the high one, is a very inexpensive action camera I picked up at Menards years ago. It's supposed to be 4K. It is not. So it's yeah, it's but yeah, it's got the HDMI out. It's not a clean HDMI out, so it's a little bit cropped. It's got fisheye effect, so it just kind of gives a weird little angle coming down on me there, and you'll be getting the shine off the head. So I'll have to deal with that because that is what it is. Continuing going around clockwise, bottom right is GoPro Hero 7 Black going through an Elgato Camlink 4K capture card. The GoPro only does 1080p output out of its HDMI, but at least it is clean. It has trouble with low light, though. It does get grainy. You can mess with a bunch of settings to try and get it a bit better, but it never looks as good as some other cameras will in lower light and stuff like that. And it may look even a little bit dark on the screen right now, but it's this room is lit pretty brightly, as seen by my reflections off my head. But and then continuing on, the last one is just a standard GoPro, or not a GoPro, Logitech C922 webcam, 1080p 30. I had to mess a little bit with filters on it and change its auto white balance because it was turning everything pretty green. But yeah, it's looking not too awful there. So just yeah, a variety of things kind of spread around. Looking down at my desk here, and you can see kind of some mess behind me when you look into the Logitech. You can see just some shelving behind there, and this TV that I used to do when I look at my 4K videos and stuff like that to make sure it looks okay, things like that. And then I've got my on the GoPro, you can see behind me, that's my work from home setup for my job. So I have to generally be careful that I don't have anything on that whiteboard I don't want anybody to see if I'm shooting from that angle. But anyway, so that's the tech overview. I'll have to make sure to put chapters in. You can skip beyond that if necessary. So yeah, for my weight loss and stuff like that, not fantastic, not awful. Cardio is still a bugger for me. I cannot get myself to do the cardio. Yeah, it's irritating. I'm still doing all my daily little weight exercises, my chin-ups, my dips, all those kind of things. So I'm still working the body, and the fact that my weight is not skyrocketing northwards tells me that I'm in a good spot. I just need to get that cardio picked up, and mentally I'm having trouble doing it. So trying to do a few things to try and get that sorted out. Going back to doing these kind of videos, I need to do these regular to keep myself honest, that kind of thing. So that's kind of the hope there. And yeah, that's unfortunate that the weight hasn't gone down any further. It hasn't skyrocketed upwards. There's a slight bump in my weight this morning, but I ended up eating out twice yesterday unexpectedly. Just a few things that were happening. So that is not a normal occurrence. We're coming into the holiday season here, so more stuff can happen, but try and keep control of it. That is the thing, though, to say about weight loss and stuff like that, is that if you fall off the rails, you're able to get back on the tracks where you fell off. You don't need to wait to get back to the station and restart. Get back on the rails where you were. So that's, while I had mentally, what can I do in a year? And I'm coming up like 3 weeks short of a year since I started coming down from 267 pounds. It's, I'm not where I wanted to be in that year, but I'm still down like 30 plus pounds or 30 pounds or so. And I still got, I still have built things that I'm doing daily that will help me continue weight loss once I can get things sorted out again. So that'll be interesting come January, February, that we're expected to probably be back in the office at least part-time. So I'll have to see how a bunch of these techniques I've used for stopping and doing weights and micro breaks to do little weight sets and things like that. See how that all works once I get back in the office. I may just have to do my weight sets for the day before I head to the office and just make sure I get up and walk around at the office. We'll have to see how that all works. Basically, I'm going to have to adapt for the change in how things are going to work. So that's just the new normal and how it all goes. Expectations over the next few weeks. Got to get doing the cardio. I got to get I got to get steady on that. The idea would be is to try and get through some of that, and then come February, maybe trigger into a full marathon training program for a marathon in like June. So that is some thoughts there, but I got to get the cardio going. So, I did surprise myself the other day by pulling out 7 miles in an hour. So I still have ability, and I am down that weight. So that does help. It's just mentally I've got to break through and get going on this stuff. So anyway, that's most of that. Wife Heather is doing great. She's gone over a year now of daily 5K or more. She's well over, I want to say she's over 2,000 miles now in that streak. It's like a year and a week, a year and 10 days now is what she's at. So that's fantastic. She's doing great, and she's still pushing through, keeping that going. And that's, mentally, I'm using that as one of the excuses why I'm not getting on the treadmill, because I don't want to break it on her. Right now, we've got a little bit of a rip in the belt, and we are waiting on warranty parts to come in. And I don't want to get my weight on there and destroy it. I want to keep it for her and for her streak. I don't want to be the one that breaks that. So, but I'm just using that as an excuse. There's other ways I can do cardio. I just need to do it. So that is what it is. Pushing through, of course, coming up to the Christmas break. I'll be having some time off before Christmas and after, hopefully some family in town. So that'll be good. Some folks I haven't seen in quite some time. So that'll be good. Hopefully that also gives me time to get some cardio pushed in and see how that goes. I should be due to get my, able to get my booster shot for the vaccines in December 28th. I think I'm eligible to get my booster. My wife too, so that'll be good. Get those sorted out. Help fight this whole pandemic thing. And yeah, you know that I'm really looking forward to having that booster so that like when we go back into the office, I am making sure I'm as covered as I can be on the vaccine front. And yeah, like I have a mixed vaccine right now. I have an AstraZeneca and then a Moderna. Um, so the booster I get should be Moderna, and that'll give me the double hit of Moderna for if I happen to travel someplace that doesn't recognize the mixed vaccine types. So that's that's the thought and the plan. As it is right now, I'm starting to watch people getting ready for Dopey Challenge. So yeah, good luck to everybody doing that and everybody training for that. And yeah, hope everybody's training goes good. Hope everyone has a good holiday. I should live stream next week if I can get something here to work. That reminds me, one other thing I need to test while I'm recording here. Right now I'm using this microphone right here. It's a dynamic. It's not the one I normally use for any of my videos and things like that. I usually use this one here. This is the blue one up here is made by Newer. And it's an NW700. It is an XLR microphone going into a Behringer audio interface, and it's usually pretty good because it is a condenser mic, and I can have it sitting a distance away, and it can record me. And then, but what I'm testing right now is this microphone here made by Audio Technica. It can be XLR as well, but it also has USB-C interface, and I'm testing the USB-C right now to see how it sounds in comparison. So this is the Audio Technica right now. It's got to be here in the shot. I think it probably has better audio. And if I put it through the audio interface, the Behringer audio interface, I bet it even is better than its USB interface. But I'll have to test that later. And that'll be a good test to see if this, I know the condenser microphone would catch that dog barking in the background, but I do not know if it is catching, if the dynamic microphone in front of me is catching it or not. So I like using the condenser because I can have it out of the way and it's out of shot in generally. To get a good audio out of the dynamic, it needs to essentially be in my face, and I may actually be too far away from it, even, less than 6 inches away. So anyway, let's 1 second here. So okay. Now I've switched over to the condenser microphone. So you should see a different timer or different sound on the audio. We'll see how it is differently. The dog has now stopped barking. There may be 1 or 2 barks that may be picked up. Let's see what that. Oh, there's one for you. But anyway. So yeah, a bit of a technology test as I do my update. Everything's good, everything's going well, and it's going to be interesting once we get into the new year and things start to change again. But anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.